Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, Chapter 58. When we last left our heroes, the fight against Metro was going honestly pretty well for Fairy Tail. Lucy revealed a new Star Dress mix with, I think, Scorpio and Aquarius, maybe? And she was able to very easily destroy a golem. Meanwhile, a golem tried to crush Juvia, but Juvia, being made of water, survived very easily. But then Metro absorbed Juvia, which was not a good thing, until he was, getting power from Juvia's water, until Gray said that Juvia was his power to live, making Juvia blush so much she boiled Metro alive. And that's how the last chapter ended. So let's jump right on into Chapter 58, Ice and Water. Our cover picture here is Gray asking Juvia to dance. It's I already saw this on the Reddit. It's a pairing with last chapter. Last chapter's cover of Juvia surrounded by the flower petals, as we see the flower petals around Gray there. In the background, you can also see Jerza blushingly dancing, and Nalu in the background there, Natsu grinning as Lucy's kind of shocked. So it's very, fitting of their relationships. Anyway, we open where we left off, with Juvia freaking out and boiling, and Metro not doing too hot with that. And Gray just freaks out. Juvia? Gray-sama! And now Metro, so hot! Why you? And Gray's like, calm down, Juvia. We don't know what he'll do if you mess around like that. And Juvia's just, dead, smiling to the world, not, fully, closed off to the world, blushing. Just cool your head down. And then Gray, looks down in shock. Cool down? And that gives him an idea, because, of course, he is an ice mage. Juvia, I'm gonna borrow your body. Gray! And Juvia, of course, do as you please. Juvia, freeze! And he, freezes the water in Juvia's body, which also then does damage to Metro, because, that's stabbing Metro with a bunch of ice. I never thought you would freeze my water! That gets Juvia out of her reverie. But Gray just snaps back. Didn't I say I was gonna borrow you? By all means, no matter what you're into, Juvia is fine with it all. Oh, poor Juvia. Juvia Geyser! And I'm not quite sure how he manages this. But does he freeze the rest of Juvia? Or what exactly is the magic he's doing there? Either way, he seems to have frozen all of Juvia now, which has done some major damage to Metro. Whoa! Juvia's become ice! Gray-sama's ice! And yeah, we see, Juvia's head is now, the tip of an ice spike. Gray does some more magic. On! Juvia hammer! I think he, took the little piece of ice that was Juvia's head, and then put a bunch of more ice on it, and used a fucking Juvia hammer to smash Metro. And yeah, I think we see at the. Oh no, sorry. I thought this was I thought there was two panels on this page, but it's actually the impact of the blast there. But either way, it seems to have done some damage to his legs as well. Anyway, Metro gets back up, wobbly. Now Juvia free. And Juvia turns back to water on the ground, and we see her face in the puddle. This is the best. And Gray calls to her, Juvia, time for a real Unison Raid. And the thought of that brings Juvia right back to her human form. Right! And they clasp hands. Ice and water, polar elemental magic. I actually went back a page. Ice wave! And the combined ice and water magic, I think, just destroys Metro. Way to fucking go, GRUVIA. One thing I will mention, though, Gray says time for a real Unison Raid. I'm not sure if that's in reference to Juvia Hammer not being a real Unison Raid, or saying that, or is that somehow saying that the Grand Magic Games Unison Raid wasn't a real Unison Raid? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I think it makes the most sense if it's talking about Juvia Hammer not being a real Unison Raid. But anyway, so yeah, they go to the Ice Wave. Metro is just fucking wrecked. He is just fucking dead. And yeah, we see Metro is like inside the ice. And there's this whole, the whole street for like several feet, like probably 30, 40, 50 feet back, covered in ice, along with Metro. And we see the ice starts to move, I think. I'd expect Metro to shatter if he were actually dead, but I'm not quite sure. And the dust clears as Juvia and Gray look at their handiwork. And Gray just kind of pants, as does Juvia, and all of the golems disappear. So I think Metro is dead. And Lucy and Kana look around. The golems! And we see the Thunder God tribe. They're disappearing. Did they beat him? And Aldoron roars again. The God Seed Aldoron feels Metro's defeat, which is good news for Natsu, because that means he is that much closer to being able to beat God Seed Aldoron. And Natsu notices God Seed Aldoron's discomfort. So now we just have God Seed Aldoron, Gears, and Wolfen still alive, right? So it's just the three of them. And I'm not sure what much Wolfen's going to do now after he was already basically beaten by Natsu summoning Zeref. I don't know. Anyway, even Metro has fallen. Now we cut right back to Gray and Juvia. And Gray turns to Juvia. Sorry, Juvia. Is your body okay? I'm glad they talk about how awkward that is. He literally, took over her body with Maker Magic. That is so like you, Gray-sama. I never would have imagined that I would have turned into ice. Juvia's fine. Oh, and she points to her lips. But it hurts a bit around here. Could you please try CPR? And Gray just looks at her. Yeah, you seem fine. I am Gray-sama's... And she, turns over to... She, looks at Gray. What was it again? And Gray turns away, can't bear to look at her. Go on, say it. And Gray blushes and, pouts. And she turns back to Juvia. Cut it out. Our friends are in trouble. And Juvia pouts, but he, puts his hand on her hat. But I'm glad you're safe. And he pulls her to, lean on his shoulder. Oh my god. That's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Pulling that out right there. Oh my god, what a moment. What? And we can still see, his scar from when he stabbed himself to save her there. Fucking GRUVIA right there, y'all. I don't get a lot of chances to talk about shipping in general on this channel, but especially in 100 Years Quest, just because, with the exception of Natsu and Lucy, who I don't really ship at all romantically, I think Natsu and Lucy are a great friendship, but I don't think they're... I honestly headcanon Natsu as aromantic. But, normally, the characters are, removed from their love interests. Juvia and Jellal are both, back in Magnolia, or in Fiore, Ishgar, at the very least. So there's not a lot of, there hasn't really been a lot of GRUVIA and Jerza moments, with the exception of the Juvina chapter, back with Fairy Nail. And so I don't get to talk a lot about how much I love my fairy tale ships. But I love my fairy tale ships. And normally Gale is my number one ship. But this panel right here, oh my lord. Oh my lord, what a panel. Okay, moving on. And Juvia just blushes and Gray kind of looks away, can't bear to look at her right now, too embarrassed. And they run off. Let's go to the others. Right. And we see, the town has started, collapse in on itself from the fighting, I think. And we see, back at main fairy tale, Lisana turns to Elfman. They probably beat the main body. And I think is that Wakaba or is that Elfman talking? The two of them are right next to each other, and I'm assuming this is Elfman. Gray and Juvia together aren't too shabby. And then Wakaba, that must be what they call the power of love. And Macau creepily looks over at Kana. That's nice. The power of love. Don't look at me. And Levy looks out at the town. Either way, this town looks crumbly. And Gajeel replies, looks like crap. And Levy turns back to Jed and Droy. I hope everyone managed to escape, but... and Lily cuts her off. By the way, we still don't know what is this place. What's up with our clothes? And Lucy turns to them. It's kind of a long story, but... And then someone cuts in. You're on top of a dragon. Huh? Who's there? Is that Brandish? You're in a town on top of a dragon. If you came here to try some Aldoron parfait, it's a little too late for that. Brandish? Has Brandish been watching this whole fight, just like eating her parfait? That is the Brandish aesthetic, though. Brandish? One of the Spriggan 12? And Romeo calms down Macau, but they're disbanded already. And Kana snaps at Brandish. What the hell are you doing here? I literally just told you why. Is she taking a break from her her Aquarius mission? Just eat some fucking ice cream? Fucking Queen Brandish, we stand. Say, could you manage this dragon somehow? If we could, we wouldn't be in that much trouble. Even my command T doesn't work on something with this much power. I'll make someone bigger, so let's just beat this thing. Wait, is someone gonna wrestle the dragon? Is someone gonna wrestle the dragon? Oh my god, I love this series so much. I love Fairy Tail so much. This is one of those chapters that's just, oh my god. Big Slow snaps at her. She's getting on my nerves. And Elfman calls out, a manly man should be big. And Lucy calls out to her, make someone bigger. They have to be bigger than a mountain. Don't you remember what they call me? Brandish the Nation Destroyer. And Lucy gulps, like the rest of the group all kind of like freaks out. But it can't be just anyone. Our enemy is a dragon. And everyone turns to the only dragon slayer in the group, Gajeel. Who, me? And somewhere else. Oh, hey, it's Jellal and Gears. Alright, I guess we're doing this now. And Gears looks at Jellal. You're tougher than I expected. And Jellal kind of like... We see Jellal is kind of like bruised and dirty. This one is fairly strong. Gears, like, turns his hand, like, with a turning of a gear. Now then, playtime is over, and we see the magic power start to emanate from Gears. His magic power is rising, and Gears tells him, take a look at your body. And we see two gears have appeared on Jellal's clothes. Interestingly enough, one of the gears goes from his cloak onto his shirt under the cloak. But yeah, he's been gearified. My calculations for killing you have been completed. The gears have deemed you unnecessary. To be continued. Alright, y'all, I love this chapter. I love this chapter. Not just, and I admit, part of it is as someone who has been shipping GRUVIA since 2012, I believe, whenever I first started watching Fairy Tail. Because they are wonderful and delightful, and this panel on page 14, I think, is the reason I was born, was to read this panel. It is adorable, and I love it, and wow, you guys. Just wow. I need more GRUVIA in my life. Yeah, the fight itself, you know, it's fun, it's good, it's great, but, you know, it's just, they've turned the tides. Metro trying to absorb Juvia was his undoing and left him open to the boiling, and then the freezing, and then the hammer, and then the Unison Raid. But yeah, Metro's down. And we get that delightful GRUVIA panel that is, as I'm sure y'all are already aware, is the thumbnail. That's not even a debate. Not even the slightest debate. That is the thumbnail. And then Brandish shows up and is like, we need someone to be really big to wrestle this dragon. So Gajeel is going to wrestle Dragon Aldoron, or at least fight Dragon Aldoron. We don't exactly know what the format of that fight is going to look like just yet, but it would be really cool if Gajeel just wrestles a dragon. I'd be living for that. And then, yeah, we have this final scene of setting up the Gears fight, so unfortunately, that Gajeel stuff is going to have to wait for a little while. Probably until we won't actually get to see Gajeel fight Aldoron until all of the God Seeds are down, or at least until Aldoron God Seed is down, and then we have like a kind of pair fight of Natsu versus the God Seed and Gajeel versus the Dragon. But yeah, looks like our next focus is going to be on Jellal versus Gears, which, as a longtime Jellal fan, I'm more than happy to see. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for this chapter. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter as much as I did, and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like, or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, GRUVIA for life. Bye, y'all.